Hey everyone, it's Tremia, and I know it's been a while, but it's been a hard week or two of not feeling well, but everything is finally starting to look brighter and everything's working out and I'm feeling better. I don't know where to begin, but I guess I'll begin with Buddy. He's over there walking around. Last Sunday, I guess it was last Saturday, a week ago, you know, he was looking at me, and he kept on looking at me, but it's always like he knows before I'm going to get sick, that I'm going to get sick. He knows before I do, and he'll really start hanging around at my feet and stuff, and he started doing that, and, but something was wrong, not with me, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And Sunday night, I told him, I said, come here, and he started walking towards me, and he was walking funny, and I just could tell he wasn't seeing right and not feeling right, and he got over to me, and I could tell he had a fever, and I was looking at his eyes, and they were all clouded over and gunky, and I said, Dwayne, Buddy's got eye boogers, you know, we need to clean out his eyes, but you could tell something was wrong. It was just more than that. And I mean, it was really nasty, and I've never seen anything like it. And it just kept on coming out of his eyes. And the more I'd clean him, the worse it would get. And so finally, we had him just go lay back down, and we prayed over Buddy. And I went back and sat down on the couch, and I said, Buddy, come back over here. And so he come back over, and I petted him underneath his, like right here on his chest. And when I did, my hand came out all bloody and full of gunk. And his whole neck from here to here was one great big open wound. And they said dog gets hot spots, and that apparently his skin was irritated, and then he just kept at it, and it was just all infected. As soon as Dwayne saw it, you know, it was like 9 o'clock at night, he immediately took Buddy to the emergency vet, and they gave Buddy some pain medication, and they shaved all that off and cleaned out all the infection, and his eyes were infected also. So he ended up with antibiotic eye drops, an antibiotic to take by mouth, and an antibiotic spray that we had to put on his neck. And I just felt so bad, you know, like how you can win the worst Mother of the Year award, because it's like for over a day, you know, he's trying to tell me something was wrong, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And he's doing a lot better. It's all dried up, it's healing nicely, and he, you know, he's seeing out of his eyes clearly and everything. It was just scary. It was so bad, I was afraid Dwayne wasn't going to come back with Buddy. That's how bad it was. I was crying the whole time. So that's how the week started. And then it was going to be a busy week because I had doctor's appointments, infusions, something every single day. And so my mom come down, and she stayed the week with us to be with me to go from place to place. And so Tuesday I had my first round of Cytoxan, and I get up there, and anyway, my first round of Cytoxan, and I did it over at the chemo infusion center, the cancer treatment center, which is right here by our house. Dwayne wanted it to be done there because it's easier for me to get to. They have valet parking. I just pull up, they come out and they get me, they take me in. You know, it's easy. It's less than a mile from home. To go to my doctor, their infusion center is like 30 minutes away, and it'd be up to me to get in and out. And over the next few months, you know, we just don't know how that's going to be. And so my oncologist the one that does my IvIG, he's in charge of doing the Cytoxan. And plus they can give you more medications for your nausea. They can be more aggressive because it is a facility versus just a doctor's office. And so we went there and spent all day Tuesday getting my infusion. About halfway through it, you know, they knocked me out pretty good because they, you know, they pre-medicate me with, for the Cytoxan, it's pre-medication of Decadron, which is steroid, which kind of hypes you up. But then I'm allergic to it, so it's Benadryl and Ativan and Tylenol and Claritin. And so, you know, pretty much knocked out. And about halfway through it, my mom said I just like sat straight up because I started breaking out in hives. And I mean, I just sat up because my face started stinging, but I broke out in hives. So of course we had to stop the drip, and they had to pre-medicate me again. And you know, I finished my Cytoxan and got home, and you know, was pretty much out of it, you know, the rest of the night. And the next day was Wednesday, and I went to see a new pulmonary doctor. The last pulmonary doctor, the one that I saw on Tuesday or Wednesday, is the one that I was originally supposed to see, but the appointment was 4 months out. So I got into the other doctor sooner, so I went to her, but I did not cancel this appointment. And I really did like the other doctor, but her office just never followed through with anything. And I was constantly having to, she'd say, well, my nurse will call you back tomorrow with instructions on what to do with this, or she'll call you back tomorrow and with this, or we'll call in this prescription. Or, you know, we'll get this paperwork sent in, we'll do this, and none of that ever was done. I was constantly having to call and say, did you, you know, they haven't received this. Oh, you know, I haven't got around to it, I'll get to it. And it was just constant, nothing ever got done. So I wasn't happy with that. So, and who would be, because like when you have shortness of breath, and you know, you're trying to get your breathing better, you know, you'd rather wait sooner than later, but I've been waiting until later. And so Tuesday or Wednesday morning, we get up. My appointment is at 8:30 in the morning, and we make it over to where the appointment is. We go through the valet parking, and they get out my wheelchair for me and everything because it's too far for me to walk. And so my mom and I, we go up, and we go to room 421, and it says no longer at this address, move to clear across town. Not just move to a different part of the building, move clear across town. And you know, it's like, oh gosh. So I call them, and they go, well, can you get here in 10 minutes? I said, you know, it's further than 10 minutes from this. I'm at your office door to your next office door. I said, I'll come, you know, I'm coming, but it's going to take longer than 10 minutes. And then so as soon as we get back down to the valet, we see my car just taking off to be parked. And they had no way to tell the guy, hey, turn around, come back. So we had to wait for the guy to go park my car, walk all the way back. It was just a fiasco. And we make it over to the doctor's office. And then we ended up waiting an hour. And there's no patients, no nothing happening in there. And we're just sitting there. And so finally we go back there, and they go, you know, where's your medical records? I said, well, you should have them, you know. And anyway, the other doctor's office, I called them and told them to send the medical records. That doctor's office called and asked for the medical records. They never sent the medical records. Not my sleep study, not my pulmonary function testing, not my chest x-rays, not the pulmonary effusion scan, nothing. They had not one thing. In which it's just like a block, 2 blocks away. So that doctor's office sent their nurse over to the other doctor's office to get all my records. And what they sent the nurse back with was just the paperwork that I filled out that says, "Hi, my name's Tremia Appling, I live at, here's my social security number, this, that." None of the test results. And by that time, and I'm sitting there, I'm crawling up on the little bed because I'm so tired and in such pain by then. As soon as I'm crawling up on the bed, because I've been sitting in my wheelchair, the doctor comes in the office, and I didn't realize she was the doctor because she is just basically dressed like I was. She didn't have on, you know, the doctor's coat or nothing, and I didn't know it was her. And I said, "Oh, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were the doctor." And she goes, "I am sorry about this total mess." She goes, "I've already, you know, got after everyone because they should have had all the paperwork, everything in order. They did not notify you, you know, to come here. They didn't send you the information." She goes, "It's clearly you're a sick patient. You do not need to be going through this." And she goes, "They got to get their act in order." She goes, "I already went up one side of them and down the other." And I say that all the time, so I thought that was pretty. I was like, I like her. I said, well, I'd already called the other doctor's office and asked them to send the information over, and they didn't do it either. And I said, you know, they never were up on their game, and I've had problems with them, and that's why I'm here. And she goes, "I know you're really sick. I know you just had chemo yesterday." She goes, "But can I ask you to come back next Tuesday? That way I'll have everything in order, and we can work on you properly, and I can give you the treatment that you need." And I was just like, oh dear Lord. And it's like, yeah, I said, I'll do that. I said, but just so you know, my mom came into town to help me to make it around to these appointments because my husband doesn't have the time off of work, and now he's going to have to take off the time, you know, to do that. You know, she came all the way out of town to do this, and, you know, this is messed up. So that didn't make her that much happier. So I go in Tuesday, and she said that they have their own pulmonary rehabilitation. That would be great. She agreed that from what she could tell that it is the steroid myopathy, you know, and we got to get all those muscles strengthened. And so went from there. So like that was like 2 appointments, and it only should have been 1 appointment because we had to do all the, you know, wrong office, go clear across the town. And then, but that put me right by where I bought my eyeglasses. And my eyeglasses, we got those like in December or so, and I have never liked them. They have never stayed on my face right. They have never fit right. You know, it took like 3 times going back and forth to get the prescription correct, to get the prisms and the no-line bifocals, the progressive lenses, and all that correct. And then finally got to where I can see out of them, but they won't sit on my face right. And I called the guy that does the fitting of my glasses, and I said, okay, I can see through them, but I can't stand these frames, and plus now I've got scratches on my lenses. And if for the first year it's covered, you know, they'll replace your lenses and stuff. And he goes, just come back in, pick you out a new pair of frames, and, you know, up to what we had paid. And he goes, we'll just replace your, you know, we'll replace them, and we'll just do an exchange. If they're more, you know, you'll know the difference. And so my mom and I, we headed over there, and I got me a wonderful pair of frames. I'm gonna love them. They're Michael Kors. The other brand ones I have are Ralph Lauren Polo, and I don't know if they're just too big for my nose right in here or what, but these Michael Kors, and plus those other ones are more unisex, and the ones I have, because my head is wide, and so it's hard for me to get a pair of female glasses, but these Michael Kors are for women, and I love them, and they're a deep rose color. I think you guys will really like them, and I'm really happy. So at that point we got that done, and we were gonna go out and eat lunch, and I just did not have it in me. I said, I gotta go crash, because after that we had another appointment. I had an appointment at 1:45 with my rheumatologist, and I just told my mom, I said, I can't, I've got to go rest. And so we came back home, I fell asleep, overslept, and we made it way back up. I mean, we were just everywhere that day. Made it clear way up to my rheumatologist. And I asked her, because my stomach had quit hurting by then. And you know, it just been basically 24, definitely less than 48 hours since I had this Cytoxan infusion. And she said, and I said, is it the Cytoxan that's made the vasculitis already calm down? Or is it the Solumedrol? You know, what is it? And she goes, no, it's very likely that it's the Cytoxan, because it's IV, it goes in directly, and it's used to treat vasculitis. Of course, you know, the Solumedrol is going to help, but the Cytoxan can help that quickly. Because I get that excruciating pain. My stomach, I was still sick and nauseous from the chemotherapy, but that excruciating, horrible pain was 75% gone. And as of today, it's like 100% gone. Like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a little bit of pain, but hey, I mean, I'm sitting here talking and I have, you know, some energy. So all of that time it took to make the decision to do the Cytoxan, it was well worth it. When I went in, my blood counts were low from the Cytoxan. My white blood count was 1.8, which is really low, so I have to watch all the germs and all that kind of stuff again, which I never really quit watching it, because once you go through a stem cell and you get infection after infection after infection, you're just constantly cleaning and making sure that, you know, you're not touching anything dirty and all that kind of stuff. And so like my mind's still in that mode. And so I'm going to do the Cytoxan. She said we'll do 3 to 6 months worth of it, and I should be in remission. And she did say remission, and I high-fived her. High-fived my doctor on that one, and she goes, we're going to get it taken care of. She goes, this is good. And I was really happy. I'm really happy, and it's so nice. Last night I actually ate some protein. We had some steak, and it did not put me into any kind of horrible pain. And I mean, before, soup would put me into horrible pain, but I got me down a couple of bites of steak, which was good because my body was calling for it because my blood's so low and everything. And so I was happy to be able to eat that. Let's see, Friday was my IvIG, and my mom went up there and we sat all day with me doing that, and it went just as it normally does, except where my port is, where they stick the needle in, when they did the Cytoxan, they sprayed some of that numbing stuff on it. I said, oh, what the heck? Well, oh, what the heck? I ended up being allergic to it. And I got like, it's just like this red rash, and I'm putting steroid cream around it, and it's just itching, and it's red, and it looks ugly. But it's not infected, because I was afraid it was infected, but the rheumatologist, she said it's all okay. It's just allergic reaction, and she told me to get some Benadryl cream, which I need to go get, and go on from there and get that itching under control, because the steroid cream's not touching it. But other than that, next week I don't think I have anything. I got my little calendar out here. September, nope. Next week is just a nothing week. No, oh, I guess I got the pulmonary doctor because I have to go back and see her. But so, because this week was one of the most rampant weeks I've had since a stem cell transplant. Well, since the first of the year. And I'm happy because the Cytoxan is working. I'm happy because she said the remission word. I'm happy because the pain is gone. I'm happy because I hope this pulmonary doctor, she'll do well and help me get my breathing to where I can get out and get exercise more. I'm happy because I can actually eat. And, you know, just a lot of good things. So this video is probably way long and probably a lot of rambling, but I will see you guys in the next video.